Am I the asshole for scaring my SIL with a cardboard cutout of the rock? My 32 female, SIL 43 female, is super nosy. It's come up before, but she's one of those people that will just deny something to the death, no matter how much proof you have, and then get angry at you for not believing her. At my house, the guest bathroom is partially shared with the master bedroom. The toilet and sink are separate for guests, and then through a door you can get to the shower, our closets, and another sink, then through an additional door as the bedroom. If that makes any sense. Basically, you can get into our bedroom through the bathroom without going through the main door. So, when she comes over, she would sometimes take just a bit too long in the bathroom. During maybe the third or fourth time, I happened to be walking by the bathroom and heard two doors close. I asked her if she was looking for something in the bedroom, and if I could help her find it. She replied with, "No, why would I go in your bedroom?" And then changed the subject. The next time she was going to come over, I set something small behind the bedroom door, so I could see if it had been opened by the small item being pushed back. Later, I could see that it had been. So, for me, confirming that she had been snooping again. I asked directly if she'd been in our bedroom, and she said something like, "I don't care what's in your bedroom, get over yourself." So yesterday, SIL and brother-in-law came over. But before that, I ordered a full-sized cutout of Dwayne Johnson, which I placed in our bedroom, facing the bathroom door. About an hour into the visit, she heads into the bathroom. Very shortly after, there's a scream, a thud, and a door slam. She came out, clearly angry. She'd been quite startled and slammed her upper arm into the doorframe while turning away from the cutout. Brother-in-law made it worse by asking, "Well, why were you in their bedroom?" But she didn't answer, and they left. She's posted on Facebook that she has a big bruise on her arm, as a result of my nasty prank. People are saying she could have been hurt worse and that she's too old to be the victim of a childish prank. I feel badly that she was hurt. It wasn't my intention. But I might be the asshole because I still think it was hilarious. Not the asshole and honestly, kind of hilarious. Not the asshole. It was hilarious. Hey, you had 2 break-ins to your bedroom, so you got the rock to provide security. He caught the offender. End of problem. Not the asshole, and I'm just petty enough to reply on her post. I'm so sorry that you were hurt and startled unintentionally. I didn't think to warn you about the cutout as I had it stored out of the way in my bedroom. Then let her friends put the pieces together. Not the asshole, and since Halloween stuff is starting in the stores, now's the perfect time to purchase a motion-activated witch that will cackle the next time. Maybe buy a door that locks from your bedroom side so she can't snoop. It's disrespectful and bad behavior for a guest. ETA wow y'all, thanks for the award and all the upvotes. Not the asshole. She totally deserved whatever she got. Edit for added opinion. I would put the details of what happened as a comment on her post. Not the asshole. She smelled what the rock was cooking. Am I the asshole for getting a hairstylist fired for suggesting my daughter had crabs? Background. My daughter, Tia, has a cognitive delay. Although she's 25 yo, her intellectual and emotional capacity are that of a 12/14 yo. I'm her legal guardian. Tia and I visited our regular salon last month to get her haircut. While shampooing her hair, the stylist, Alejandro, noticed she had lice. Instead of telling her quietly, he caused a big scene that left Tia in tears. His reaction was so loud and exaggerated, it caused everyone in the salon to stare. He gasped audibly and took 2 steps back. Throwing his hands in the air and tilting his hip, he shrieked, "Oh Jesus. Girl, you're crawling with piojos. They probably went south, so you better get checked for labia lobsters." My daughter was dumbstruck. She didn't understand the words he was saying, but she sensed his tone. By the time I got to his booth from the waiting area, her chest was hitching and tears were streaming down her cheeks. I put a towel around Tia's head and guided her out of the chair. I told her we had to leave because her brother had locked himself out of the house. Alejandro and I locked eyes, and I gave him a look of utter disdain. Once we were safely in the car, her sobbing had subsided. I told her that her brother had texted me that he found his keys, so we could get ice cream. We started talking about other things, like her friend group. That brightened her mood, and she seemed to forget the incident. We finished our ice cream, and I told her we should get her haircut while we were out. I said that Alejandro's shift had ended and that we needed to go to a different salon. Once there, I surreptitiously advised the stylist that she needed a lice treatment. By the time we got home, I was steaming mad. It haunted me all evening and into my nightmares. The next day, I searched the internet for the name of the salon's CEO. I called his office and demanded to speak with him. He wasn't available, but his assistant took my complaint and promised to pass it on. A month later, and I had heard nothing from the salon. It was time for my son to get a haircut, so I called to make an appointment, with anyone but Alejandro. I asked for 3 different dates, but the stylist who answered the phone, Alicia, told me they were booked. Her tone was curt, which made my spider senses tingle. I just came out and said it. Alicia, is something wrong? Her response floored me. She said, yes, something is wrong. You got Alejandro fired. You could have handled it with the store manager, but you didn't. Your family isn't welcome here anymore. My jaw dropped, and all I could manage was a timid, okay. I hung up and began to reflect. Am I the asshole for reporting Alejandro to the CEO? Am I a Karen? Not the asshole. Call that CEO again. Alicia needs sorting, too. I can't even fathom Alicia's part being true, but if it is, she needs to go too. Alejandro is an absolute asshole and got what he deserved. Not the asshole. You could have handled it with the store manager, but that isn't the problem here. The problem is that Alejandro behaved disgustingly towards your daughter. The fact that the salon are more bothered by the fact it was the CEO that fired him rather than the store manager is really telling of the type of people they are. Not the asshole for reporting the stylist. I'm surprised you would even consider going back to the salon though. Not the asshole for getting the stylist fired for making a horrendous comment. You're absolutely the asshole for taking your daughter into another salon knowing she had head lice, rather than treating it on your own. It violates health regulations in most of the US for salons to knowingly serve someone with an active head lice infestation. Expecting salons to risk their licensure for your convenience is rude. If you're not in the US it might be legal, but it's still gross. How did you not know your daughter had lice though? Not the asshole. Lice happens. If it didn't, they would have gone extinct by now. And a hairstylist should know that. Their first reaction should be, okay, we gotta handle this first. Not thinking about their client's genitals. Am I the asshole for triggering my stepmom into an unhinged rage? My parents have been divorced for 17 years. There were allegations that my dad cheated on my mum, which my dad and stepmom strongly reject. He got with my stepmom almost immediately after divorcing my mum, marriage of 15 years with 2 kids. My sister and I truthfully believe the allegations, but keep our opinions to ourselves. Over the last 17 years, my sister and I have had a civil relationship with our stepmother and have bit our tongues about any snide comments, like we could have afforded a mortgage for a bigger house if we didn't have to pay child maintenance. They have also made a big deal about not being able to put my sister's wedding photo up in the house due to how they were mistreated at the ceremony. In reality, the mistreatment involved my mother and my grandparents opting to not talk to her at the wedding, and as a result she felt very excluded although there were 100 guests. Today we were discussing a birthday party for my sister's 30th and my dad made comments about how they wouldn't be able to sit at the same table as my mother plus grandparents as my mother would refuse and they wouldn't get on well. My stepmom went on a lengthy and aggressive rant about how immature and ridiculous this was and how they should be able to talk normally like other normal families do. She also became increasingly aggressive and brought up the wedding photo situation again. At this point my sister and I denied the correlation between her bad experience at the wedding and the ability to hang a wedding photo of my sister on the wall. I then suggested that I could tell them the real reason why she was ignored at the wedding, but that it would cause upset, and so I tried to leave the room. However, after hearing her continue to argue and yell at my sister, I returned and explained that the reason she was ignored at the wedding was due to the fact that from my mother's side of the family's POV she broke up a family. From this point onwards she started to become increasingly aggravated and aggressively screamed at my sister and I on the driveway stating, "How dare you accuse me of breaking up a family? I met your dad at a bar as he was always there due to how unhappy he was, due to the marriage." We tried to explain that this was not our POV, but my mother's family's POV, and my sister and I are honestly baffled about why she's hung up about this, as the wedding happened 3-4 years ago. We chose to leave as she was becoming very aggressive and our dad did not help to escalate the situation and simply stood there in silence whilst she screamed in our faces and shook her finger in our faces. Since we left he has not reached out to see if we are okay, or to talk about what happened. We sent him a message to see if he'd like to talk and he declined, stating he wasn't in the right mental state. Am I the asshole for suggesting she essentially reaped what she sowed? Edit. Thank you so much for all the replies below, my sister, and I greatly appreciate all the opinions shared here. Just to be clear, my mother has no ill feelings in this situation and isn't hung up on the divorce, she just doesn't want to make small talk with my stepmom. Edit 2. Added something for clarification. Not the asshole, though it was also your dad who helped break up the family. That's a dance you can't do solo. Not the asshole. It seems you hit a nerve. This wasn't the first time someone has told her she was a homewrecker. There might be some truth to it. Don't invite this woman to your sister's birthday party, as your stepmom will only cause a scene. I would go NC with her. Go very LC with your dad, as he didn't stick up for you and your sister, nor did he tell you that you were wrong. So she admitted getting together with him before the divorce. She was meeting him at the bar whilst he was whinging about his marriage. She knew he was married with kids. Not the asshole, and don't invite her to your sister's party. Protect your mother from this unhinged woman. Not the asshole. Go no contact. Your stepmom is childish, petty and completely unhinged. Your dad is no better. He let her scream and flip out at you and he did nothing. Not the asshole. Do not include this woman in any more family events. She's not family, she's just your father's wife. Not the asshole, but you have yet to accept a hard truth. Your dad broke up your family, not this woman. Am I the asshole for intruding in on a family-only birthday party? My, M14, Mom, F39, remarried John, M44. He has 2 daughters, Kayla, F13, and Janice, F15. They remarried about 4 years ago and John's parents kind of hate us. They don't like the fact that John remarried, and hate me especially. But I think of John as my own dad and Kayla and Janice like my sisters. So it was Kayla's birthday a few days ago and her grandparents, who adore her, wanted to have a surprise party for her, but keep it between family only. When I heard of it I was really excited and helped out with the cake etc. When the day everyone was getting ready and it was going fine until John's parents asked, "What are less than my mom and him doing here? They're intruding on the party." They then told me that I wasn't technically part of their side of the family, and that they were clear enough to say it was a family-only party. I was upset and argued back, and during all the chaos the surprise aspect of the party kind of fell through, and basically Kayla came back to see everyone fighting. John's parents told me I ruined the party and they ended up bringing Kayla, plus Janice and John, back to their place instead to celebrate. To be honest, I think that what they did was unreasonable, but I also think that I may be the asshole because family dynamics are complicated and I think I may have blown everything out of proportion. Not the asshole, but John, and your mom, should be dealing with his parents. It shouldn't be on a kid to argue about it. John's parents sound awful. Holy shit, not the asshole. Also, it's hard to figure out if John or John's parents are the bigger assholes here. I lean slightly to John simply for not standing up for the woman he literally married and saying this is my family, like it or lump it. Everything is wrong here, except you, my dude. Stand your ground, for you and your mom. Not the asshole. John's parents are monumental assholes though. Step-children, grandchildren are family. Not the asshole. This is appalling behavior on the part of John's parents. I have a stepson, and if my parents talked about him or my wife that way, I'd be irate. Your stepdad's the aw for letting them treat you like this. So they were making a surprise party at your parents' place and expected you and your mother to leave during that time? That's just so much BS. Especially since they didn't seem to have any problem with you helping them set everything up. Screw them. They are the aw. They said, family only, and you and your mother are now family, if they like it or not. They are the aw, as well as John for not standing for his new family. You are not the asshole.